Welcome back. Today's a cute little video about cute little lights filmed with a cute little camera that I'm going to reveal at the end of the video. This is about little tiny lights. Ones, you know, there's situations where you can't put a big light. There's no space for a light stand and a bigger light, and you only have just enough space to put a little tiny light in a corner or something like that, or you're at a restaurant and you don't, you just want to have a little light to light up someone's face. There's a lot of situations where all you have room for to light something is something like this, just a tiny little light. So today's video is about portable little panel lights. Now there's a million of them out there, and I could go on for years about all the different LEDs are so cheap nowadays, but I'm just going to show you the ones that I have, which might inspire you because they're cool and they got some cool features, and they're just fun to have, and they're very practical. One of the most obvious practical uses for these things is to just put them on the hot shoe of your camera, so now you have a light on top of your camera. But there's also times where, you can just handhold the thing like this, so you have it off camera so it's not straight at you. Or you could have several of them, or you can put them like in corners or on, one at each end of the table, or there's so many. You have one down here for a little bit of fill light. The uses are endless. So let's start with the really basic, simple one, a little Godox LED 36. This is as basic as it gets. It's just a tiny little square plastic thing. It runs on 2 AA batteries, which is really practical. So no matter where you are, you can get the battery for it. It's really cheap. It's got an on-off switch and a dial for lighting how bright it is. So that's really basic. And it only costs $15. I mean, that's really cheap light, $15. I got 4 of them on the table here. If you want a little more light, there's one that's twice as big. This is the Godox LED 64. This is $20. It runs on 4 AA batteries. With the 64 LEDs is $20. The one with 36 LEDs is $15. So $15 and $20. And they have these little slots on the side. This is so cool. These slots are basically cold shoes, so you can stick, like an erector set, as many things as you want on these things. And you can just keep adding these on forever, like an erector set. I mean, how cool is that? You just have as many lights in whatever formation you want. And it's really cheap. These things are really cheap. So these are the Godox ones. All right, moving on to one. This one used to be really expensive. They used to be $300 a piece. And I bought a bunch of them because when I traveled and go on vacation, they're really small. And they're powerful. These things are powerful. They have these big giant LEDs in them. It's the Core SWX Torch LED, the Bolt 300 on-camera light. This takes L series batteries, which are more powerful than the NP batteries, and they burn through batteries pretty quick because they're so powerful. They have an on-off switch, a dimmer dial, and they go daylight and tungsten, so you can go between the warm LEDs and the cool daylight LEDs, or anywhere in between. I use these things on a lot of trips. Like in Hawaii, I would take several of them with me and light myself up when I'm in the shade. They're pretty cool for small lights that you can just carry with you, that you can just put in a bag or a pocket. They're $189 with the battery and the charger, and they go both daylight and tungsten, which is really cool. So that's the Bolt 300. All right, this one here. I like this one. I like it because it looks cool. It's the Tolifo PT15B Pro. You just stick an NP battery on the back. You can change the brightness and the color by clicking both the plus and minus on both the color or the brightness of it. This is $47 at Walmart, and it does both daylight and tungsten, and it's small and very, very thin. And Walmart, you can order things online now too. You don't even have to go to the store anymore, which is really cool. All right, moving on. All right, here's a cool one. This is really lightweight, really lightweight. The F&V HDV Z96. It's $120. It has a whole bunch of LEDs on the front. What's cool about this thing is you can put an NP battery on the back like this. But let's say you don't have a NP battery and you're on location and you need this thing to work. Well, there's a secret. You push this button, there's a secret panel here that opens up, and inside there's space for AA batteries. So you can put 5 AA batteries and keep running this thing. So you can work it off NP or AA batteries. It has magnets on the front, so you can stick diffusion on there. And the lights themselves are only daylight, but it comes with a tungsten magnetic 3200K warming filter on the front. This one's $120, really lightweight. Okay, moving on. All right, this is a really tiny popular one. This is one, you see this a lot because it's so small at the camera stores. It's a LumeCube. This is a LumeCube 2. Really basic. It's one giant LED. And it's got built-in batteries, so you charge it with a USB. I believe it's waterproof. It just has an on-off switch and a plus and a minus. So you just hold it in to turn it on. Really basic, and then you just make it brighter and brighter or darker with the plus and minus. And it's just a the most practical little tiny thing that you can just, I mean, you can just have a bunch of these put in different places. Speaking of tiny, here's a little thing that I got. It's just a little light that's meant to be stuck in a closet. And you just push the front of it to turn the lights on and off. It's really, really cheap. I put some of these inside of a dehydrator to light up some food for a kitchen video. Stuff like this is just so practical for so many uses where you just want to stick a little bit of light in an area that needs some light without having to do big giant lights or anything like that. Look at this, you can get 10 of them for 30 bucks. Just look up closet lights on Amazon. There are all kinds of them and they're real cheap. All right, this one's a cool one here. This is literally a pocket light. I mean, you can literally stick this in your pocket. 120 LEDs. This is the 120 SS by Promaster. It's really slim. You don't have to worry about batteries because they're built in. You charge it with a USB. It's daylight. You can't change the color on it. And it has 4 little blue LEDs on the back which show you the battery status. And it comes with a diffuser that you snap on the front. So that's kind of cool. This one's $100. All right, Kneewear. Leave it to Kneewear to come up with something really cool, inexpensive, lightweight. This is like, look at how many LEDs are packed into this thing. This thing weighs nothing. It's like a piece of paper. It weighs nothing. And it comes with a diffuser that you stick on the front. But what's really cool is, again, you can use an NP battery in the back or AA's, 5 AA's. Guess how much this costs? 21 bucks. 21 bucks on Amazon. Amazing. Leave it to Kneewear to make something really affordable and cool. This is the Kneewear C1N 216. And here's a similar one from Yongnuo, a YN160S. This is almost the exact same thing as the Kneewear. I taped a warming gel on the front of this. Again, this one runs on NP batteries or AA batteries, which is really cool. It's like 40 bucks. And then over here we have something similar by LumeCube. This is literally, it looks like a cell phone. That's how, look how thin it is. Really, really thin, really tiny, really well made. It's actually smaller and thinner than the Promaster. LumeCube is a really good company, really high quality stuff. It has a really high-tech display on the back, really fancy for a little thing like this. You can change the brightness and the color temperature. It charges with USB. You can go 3200 all the way up to 56. It comes with a really soft, flexible silicone diffuser that you just wrap over the front of it. Feels really cool, really nice to feel. And it comes with a ball mount, which is really cool. The LumeCube LC Panel 112 pocket-sized mini light, and it's $100. Really well made. And for those of you thinking, why not just use a cell phone with a white screen or a colored screen or even the flashlight function, because cell phones can do anything? I'm sorry, but it's just not as bright and adjustable as these dedicated LED lights. But I have used the cell phone as a light source when it was really, really dark. I even made a video about it here. So a cell phone does work in a pinch when you're in a dark environment. I got some great shots using nothing but a cell phone. But in all fairness, I was using an A7S II, which can take amazing pictures when there's very, very little light. And now I'm going to reveal a light that I've been holding back. It hasn't been on the table because I want to surprise you with it. It's kind of cool. This thing is, it's like a mini fluorescent light, but it's LED. It's the NanLite Pavotube 2 6C. Really, really well made. Hollywood uses these things for when they need light in a spot where you can't really get to very easily. Sometimes, like say you're in a bathroom, you got mirrors everywhere, you can't put a light stand anywhere because you're going to see it in the reflection. And you need to hide some lights just off the camera, or you can have it down here for, you know, a little bounce light, whatever. Just put it in a closet, put it under a ledge, just lighting up tight spots where you can't put a big light. These things are really cool for many reasons. One is they are magnetic. It comes with these 2 little metal plates that you can just literally tape to a wall, and then you just stick this thing to the wall. You can stick it anywhere these metal plates are. That is just so practical. And you can do not just daylight and tungsten, 3200 or 56. It's an RGB light, so it can change any color you want. Red, green, blue, whatever. It has all kinds of effects on it. Very, very practical. You can have it mimic a police light, a lightning, a TV set, a flickering fire. There's so many ways to use this light. It's just so practical and cool. So this is the NanLite Pavotube 2 6C, and it's only $89. Really high quality, and they have 1/4-20 threading on each end, so you can screw as many of these together as you want and have a really long bulb. You can get an optional battery handle, which gives it extra battery power so it runs even longer. You just screw it in like that, plug in the USB, and now you have a lightsaber. All right, Marcus, you're getting a little crazy now. Camera hot shoes the world over get scared when they see me coming. Or you can screw the battery handle into the bottom of it, so now you have a handle to hold on to, and now you have a bigger light source that you can use to scare away evil spirits. Be gone, evil spirits! Another cool option you can get for this wonderful light is this amazing clamp thingy here, which you can put on a light stand or any kind of grip pin, and then just clamp it to that. And since it has a hole on the side here, you can also do it sideways, which is really cool, either way. Or you could use, for example, like a grip pin like this. These are plates that have a pin attached to it, which you can screw to anything. So you can screw this to the wall or the ceiling, and then attach the light. So now this can attach to a wall or, you know, whatever. And there's even a smaller version you get. If you don't have a lot of space, you don't have to use a big one. They have little ones like this too, which is really cool. You can get these in modern studio equipment. And another thing that's really option you can get is this tiny little egg crate louver, so it directs the light. So you can put that on there. So now you have directional light from this thing. Look at this. This is so cool. Look at that. That is amazing. Really cool. Turn it on. How cool is that? And you can like aim it up or down. You can even twist it so you get like weird shapes with it. It's just so cool. I go on forever with this. It's really cool. I love this. The NanLite. NanLite is a great company. Speaking of joining things, there's a little device here which I suggest you get. It's really cool. This is something you put on a camera, and it has 3 more cold shoes on top of it, so you can stick a microphone or more lights, and it's just a great little practical thing to have that mounts to any hot shoe. Photography is kind of like an erector set mentality where you just put a bunch of stuff together. So that's just my little thing for little practical lights that you can put in little areas where you can't put big lights, or you just want to have something in your pocket that you carry with you to a restaurant or something where you just, you know, you're traveling, you don't have a lot of space, and you just want to have some light from somewhere. And again, like I said in my previous videos, to make something look like a soft light, have a bunch of little lights in different areas all around you, and you get a similar effect. If you're in a crunch and you need some kind of, you know, where you don't have harsh shadows or something, have a light here, one here, one here, one here. And these little things are so small, you can put a bunch of them in a bag with you and take them with you. They don't weigh much, they don't cost much. Great little things to have. And speaking of small, I'm shooting this whole video with a tiny little camera, a Samsung NX Mini. How cute is this? The size of a deck of cards. It's actually an interchangeable lens camera. You can take the lens off and have other lenses on. The lenses are like the size of a silver dollar. It has a flip up screen. I did a video on this. You can literally put this in your pocket. That's how, I mean, look at this. That is just an amazing little camera to have. So I'm shooting this right now with, I mean, you're probably saying, well, you're holding in your hand. What are you shooting with? Well, I got 4 of them. I got another one right here. I got 2 over here. I love this camera. I keep buying them because they're so cute. They don't make them anymore, so I'm snatching them up while I can. It's a 1-inch sensor, which is really good. I mean, that's impressive for packing in a little thing like this. And the quality is good. I mean, look at this. I'm shooting with it right now. I have full frame cameras. I have really expensive big cinema cameras, you know, and people are using those on YouTube because they want to impress you with the sharpness and the 4K and the 8K and all that. I don't care. I just like using tiny little fun things. Yeah, I could use the big cameras, but I just get a kick out of using the little things. I mean, look at this. Everything you're seeing in this video, including the close-ups, was filmed with a Samsung NX Mini. I'm going to make more videos using little tiny cameras, little pocket cameras, to show you what you can, you know, do with little cameras. You don't need the big expensive ones, and that's kind of what my channel is about. I do use expensive things every now and then, but I love coming back to the little cheap things and the fun things, the little ones, the stuff that you can literally put in your pocket and take with you. Just like these lights. These lights are small. I mean, little things. I love little things. And if they're cheap, that's even better. I hope this inspired you. I hope this gave you some ideas. And yeah, there's a million LED lights. I mean, I'm sure you're going to put your favorites down below in the comments. They're endless. I mean, there's so many of them. These are just some of the ones that I have. They're cool. They're good to have. It's always good to have something small like this to take with you when you're going around town or traveling, or you're just doing a shoot. No matter what video shoot you're doing, there's always a tiny spot in a corner where you need a little bit more light. Just to help, fill in a shadow or something. So anyway, I hope this inspired you, gave you some ideas, and next week I'll have something else that'll make you go, well, that was fun. I'm sure glad I saw that. And that's it. So I'm rambling. I'll see you next week. Until then, have a great week.